What is going on, everyone? Bulldozerman1 here, bringing you another Vigor video. Today we're going to be looking at the weapon changes for Season 12. We have a major machine gun overhaul. What we have done, what the devs have done, not we, what has been done, is the accuracy has been aligned more properly with each weapon. The crosshairs have been more fine-tuned for the machine guns, so as you can see, the pattern is way more tight. On the machine guns, there is not a lot of what I call overbloom, and the swaying of the recoil patterns has been completely eliminated from the machine gun class. To a certain extent, there's a few machine guns that if you're trying to move around with, you'll feel sway in recoil, like the KK62. If you're moving strafing with it and you're trying to shoot, you'll notice a sway pattern. Same thing with the MG3. But overall, they have been majorly improved. I'm talking to the point where machine guns are probably going to be a solid meta in Season 12. So keep your heads down, because there's going to be a lot more belt feds out there in the world, a lot more machine guns going off. This is the new and improved KK62. It was already a meta gun in Season 11, and as you can see, the recoil on it is much more tight, easier to maintain, and it just feels very snappy. Overall, I will say KK is going to get a lot of use. MG3 major improvements on its crouching and standing accuracy. Minor penalties to prone. But this right here, this is the PKM. This is now a fully auto Dragunov. So anywhere from 5 yards to 200 yards, I'm scared of this gun in the Outlands if someone knows what they're doing with it. Minor bursts on target, and you're going to be just annihilating people, because it is literally a fully auto Dragunov. The RPK has a funny little animation where that arm kicks out. So while they did improve this gun, I think they messed up on the animation of it. It feels a little goofy, and it's a little disruptive, the way it recoils like that. I feel like they should hold it a little more tight to the shoulder with less movement on the outer barrel, like the up and down. The gun would be completely inaccurate if it was shaking around like that, so maybe they need to fix that animation, pull it in a little tighter. Other than that, it's nice to see that weapon get some love. Here's one of my favorite guns in the game. Prior to Season 12, the ZAM72, it was really nice to see that this got a buff. It's essentially an AKM with 40 rounds, and it's more accurate. So while it doesn't have pinpoint crosshairs anymore, it is more responsive on its recoil pattern. It feels a lot more tight with its crosshairs, so it'll be easier to use. The M60, along with the PKM, probably got the most significant buffs, in my opinion. This gun was fun to use prior, but not really effective, and now it's going to be a force to be reckoned with from medium even to long range. So it'll be interesting to see how many more people are going to be using the M60 this season. The MG3 here, while it did receive a minor penalty to prone fire, it will be a lot more effective in crouching and standing fire, because they did tighten up the recoil pattern, and it feels a lot more responsive. So if you see a user running around burst firing this weapon, keep your head down. This thing will shred you. Here we're going to do an F1 test versus an MG3 test. So I'm going to use the F1 crouch, kind of try and maintain my fire, be accurate, show you time to kill with this gun. So I'm not trying to overdo it with just spam fire. Some people do. As you can see, meta assault rifle, really good time to kill. Here's the new and improved MG3. And still had half of magazine left. So 53 rounds in the chamber, all targets down. Here is a bloom and stability test. I'm going to show you the difference between the F1 Bugle and the M249. So what I do is I fire through a magazine with my hand completely off the thumbstick. So you can see the natural movement of the gun without any aim correction going on. And as you can see, the M249 just is rock solid. It doesn't move as soon as it gets to its peak. The bugle, I was noticing the bloom on the bugle was acting kind of interesting. And it seems as though the bugle has more bloom than the machine guns do now. So we might see another pass on recoil patterns, either to debuff MGs to give them a little bit more bloom. Because I think what they did is they tightened them up too much. First, that's my personal opinion. I like the direction and the idea where everything was more responsive and felt more crispy. But I do feel like the MGs have an unfair advantage compared to the rest of the guns in the game. So Season 12, to me, is going to be dominated by machine guns. And that's just, you know, from my perspective as someone who runs meta guns, plays with meta players, plays with the top of the leaderboards, plays with the bottom of the leaderboards. You know, I'm all around the community, and I just notice trends. I watch a lot of streamers. I think that the MGs are going to be either making people not want to play the game anymore who are currently established, or they're just going to have to adapt to it or die, pretty much. Because the MGs are going to be really powerful this season if they don't make any additional changes. So I was looking at the bloom here. And if you do the math, it looks like the M249 has about half the bloom total of an F1, which to me is crazy. Here's the L85A1 Gold Assault Rifle. And you can see that even the M249 standing to standing recoil has better bloom patterns and spread than the L85. To me, that's crazy. That's nuts. A golden AR is outperformed by this. Here's the ZAM72 and the AKM. First, we have the AKM, as we all know. Common assault rifle, absolute staple of the Outlands to the up-and-comings. Great gun. And here's my personal favorite, the ZA. Look at this thing. Shoots the same bullet, same damage, 10 more rounds, and is solid. Here's the green AK, A74K, the headshot machine. Standing accuracy is excellent with this gun. Crouching, also very good. A little bit of movement, a little bit of sway. And here is the RPK 74, a gun that I loved when I started playing the game, but hated because of its accuracy. Now look at this thing. This thing has the standing accuracy of the A74's crouched, and if you crouch with this thing, it doesn't even move. This is going to be one gun I'm going to really be using this season. So I love what you guys did, and I'll catch you on the next one.